Hello and welcome to 70 Years, 70 Muppets, a Muppet fan podcast presented by ToughPigs.com. This is the podcast where we celebrate the Muppets' 70th anniversary with 70 straight weeks of spotlights on our favorite Muppet characters, from the most popular to the most obscure. I am this week's host, Joe Hennes, and the Muppet of the Week is Mildred Huxtetter, performed by a whole lot of different people, designed by Bonnie Erickson, and originally built by Carolee Wilcox, making her world debut in 1974. I've got a very special guest with me today. He is a puppeteer best known to many of us for his work on Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. Guest, who are you?
Hi, my name is Andy.
Hi,
I am
Andy.
an enormous fan of Mildred Huxtetter, and I cannot believe this opportunity has come up. This is great.
Wonderful. And just for the record, your last name is Hayward. You are Andy Hayward.
Yeah, I do have a lot. No, actually, I only go by one name. My parents were simple people.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
Andy Hayward. Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of Mildred because she's Mildred Huxtetter, and then she's got all these. Yeah. What do you call those things? The letters that go
like
through
accreditations.
Yeah, sure.
And it wasn't until I was kind of rewatching her content that I realized that she has different accreditations on two different occasions.
It's true.
So,
I wrote them down. One time they say MABADA and DUMB, which I thought I never caught that before.
Yes, and the other one is BAMA, PhD, OBE, and RSVP. I have no idea what an OBE is.
OBE, that's Order of the British Empire. She's been knighted.
I am impressed. That is very okay. You know what? What can't she do?
Exactly. Yes.
There's a reason she's a superstar.
And I was hoping that the Muppet Wiki would have more up about these. Like, I have to assume like there's some like Muppet magazine or something that she was credited. There's even more of these things, but that's all we get for today. Yes.
Shame. Well, you never know what the future may hold, you know?
That is true.
She could have a renaissance. She could have a comeback.
We're waiting for it. We're waiting for that Mildred renaissance.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
So you're a huge Mildred fan. That's why I wanted to have you here.
Yeah.
What is it? Why Mildred? What do you love about Mildred?
You know what? I think it's kind of a fan trope to latch on to one character and just be obsessed with spotting that one character. For me, part of it is that first season Muppet Show is my favorite season. It's so rough around the edges. And then we had all of these kind of middle-aged, elderly characters foisted on us that between 1 and 2, most of them vanished completely. I would love to have been a part of the meeting where they were talking about season 2, saying, we got to get rid of all these middle-aged characters.
Well, not just middle-aged. I mean, you're right. Like she is very middle-aged, but like
she's very middle-aged. Yeah.
But also, I think you're including characters like Hilda and George in that, who like they're like older than middle-aged. I feel like to me they're old.
Yeah. They seem to stack up, and it's probably because they're thinking, well, we're going to do a show for adults. Let's do adult Muppets. But I was obsessed with her. Part of it was I'm a voice chaser.
Yeah.
And that her voice was always flip-flopping. And then and part of it was I just loved her design. Like, of all the whatnots, they all kind of have the same kind of look, but she had that really pronounced beak and that floppy mouth, and I just thought it was great.
Yeah. Also interesting that so let's talk about her design a little bit. I agree with you. Like that long beak, that deep purple to color that she's got, like all great. And but they also gave her like that curly wig and like a flowered moo.
Yeah.
like kind of like the most boring things to go onto this very interesting puppet.
She's definitely wearing polyester. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think Three's Company was already popular. To me, she's kind of borrowed Mrs. Roper's aesthetic.
Oh my gosh, so I think you're right. Yeah.
She's got the floral moo, she's got the curly wig, she's got the chunky jewelry. If I could ever speak to Bonnie Erickson, I would just pick her brain and say, did Three's Company have anything to do with her? It's just my theory.
So it's funny you mentioned Bonnie Erickson because I actually wrote to her asking her about a little bit about Mildred, what she remembered about designing this character.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what she said to me. She said, "I believe this is the only non-sculpted character I ever designed. The time was pressing, so I can't remember much except that the beak expressed a certain archness and her overbearing personality. I especially loved that she deigned to be George the janitor's dance partner. Wonderful Carolee Wilcox did a fantastic job bringing her to life, or fur. And then I also asked her about the name because the name Mildred Huxtetter is so specific. It sounds
Yeah.
like a reference to something or like an
Yeah.
inside joke. And unfortunately, she said she didn't remember anything about the name, but it feels very appropriate to who she is.
Mhm.
So thank you, Bonnie Erickson, for that input. Very
That
valuable.
is wonderful news to me. Yeah. And she was designed for the Valentine show, correct? That was her
Uh,
first
I
appearance.
think you're right.
Yeah.
If I stall for 2 seconds, I can tell you
Sure.
for sure. Yes,
Let's
the
give it
Valentine show.
a
Part of me was
show.
wondering, like, did she appear in like a Muppet meeting film or something? But no. The
Mm,
Valentine show is accurate.
yeah. And she was arguably the star of that show. Like they're like, we're gonna make a new pilot and let's just create someone entirely different. We'll make her a Mrs. Roper, middle-aged, moo wearing puppet. It's so bizarre, and I love it. I love
All
it.
those casting choices for the Muppet Valentine show are
Yeah,
so bizarre. Like, who are these
very.
people?
Yeah, they've got Jim just playing a kind of a whatnot with, I mean, they gave him a personality, but what?
Yeah, he's just some guy. Yeah, they got a
Just some guy
guru there for some reason. Sure, why not?
who's
Throw a
just kind of
guru in there.
nap. Yeah, it's quite a collection of characters. I love it though. I love watching the early days of anything because you get to see the process of how they're
Hmm.
like finding their way. And for me, once something gets too polished, I'm not as interested anymore.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
I totally
really
get
love,
that.
yeah, the early Muppet stuff before they really found their pacing and their characters. I loved watching them find it and get there.
Yeah, one of those things I like about what you're talking about is this idea of they don't know who their audience is yet, so they
Right.
can't cater to the audience. They can't say
Yes.
like, "Oh, well, we know what you guys are expecting, so we're going to give you some of that just because that you like it, and obviously,
Yeah.
so we're going to keep doing it." But here, especially with like stuff with like the Valentine show, yeah, like they're just throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall, and hopefully you'll like it enough that we'll keep doing it. And if not, we got to course correct.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I always found that special to be really charming.
Hmm.
Um, the design of that little house, I guess it's Mildred's. I don't know who.
Oh yeah, do we
I
think
don't know.
that's Mildred's house? I never thought of
I,
that.
it's hard to say.
Yeah,
But she
yeah.
kind of seems like she's in charge of things, right? She's welcoming the guest, and I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
know.
good question. Well, so that also begs the question of what is Mildred's role with the Muppets? Because once you get into the first season of the Muppet Show specifically, it
Yeah,
seems like everyone has a job. Like
right,
nobody is there for no reason, with the exception
right.
of like some of the acts maybe. And this, I guess, they're performers. But Mildred doesn't really seem to have a job. So what's your head headcanon? What does she do?
It's really hard to say. Like you almost want to put her in the position of an expert like Sam Eagle is, only Sam's much funnier than
Yeah,
she was.
right.
That is the trouble. Like they could have, instead of doing Hilda, they could have made her the wardrobe person, and that would have worked for her,
That is
I
true.
think.
Yeah, right.
What's interesting is how in the first season how much you see her all the time. They're always throwing her in. If there's like a group number with a celebrity, she's always in there somewhere.
Yeah.
They're always grabbing that puppet. And then the next season, it's like she was just banished. Like somebody had it in for her. I don't know. She just kind of went away.
It's true.
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
but you're right though. I mean, the part of it is just that design. The design is so striking and it really fills a crowd scene so well.
right, right,
What's interesting too, just about this idea that she vanished. So season 3 of the Muppet Show, the Pearl Bailey episode, there's an At the
right.
Dance segment. She's performed by Louise Gold in that one.
Okay,
And that is the last time we ever heard her speak.
that's the last time.
Is
And
that
she
isn't that
was,
crazy?
correct me if I'm wrong, but she was in. I remember her being a reporter. Was
Yeah,
it Rich Little? And
that's
that's before.
earlier. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So one random at the dance, and that's it. That's
Crazy.
crazy.
And like what was it was season 3? What was that? Like 1979 or something ish.
Right, right.
And like the
Yeah,
fact that I mean she made a lot of appearances since then. But again, like it's in these group scenes. It's in the like in the 2011 Muppet movie when they're doing the Muppet Show again and she's there. Uh
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, we have not heard her utter a single word. I can't get over that. I would have thought it somewhere something there would have been like some awful CD-ROM game or something where she says something.
Well, it's interesting too when you listen to a lot of like the the Muppeteers who've been around for quite a while, a lot of times the character they develop is because they just spot a puppet and they just have a feeling about it. I remember Joey Mazzarino talking about when he did Murray, that puppet was just one of a bunch of monsters, but he just gravitated toward it and said, I want to do something with that. Um, I That's how I feel about Mildred. I'm like, man, if she was in a pile somewhere, I'd be like, that's the puppet I want to play with.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and because she's kind of vague, like it's kind of the way Uncle Deadly kind of had a renaissance and a reinvention. There's kind of room there to
There's
play
nothing
and to
but room
develop.
with Mildred. I mean, like, what are you
Yeah,
basing it on? Because, like, you know, with all these different performers. So the ones that I've spotted, at least the wiki calls out, there's Richard Hunt,
right.
Frank Oz, Dave Goles, and Louise Gold, for the most
Mhm.
part. At least when we talk about voice, the ones who've lent their voices to the character, and
Right, right.
I feel like none of them have ever played her the same. So there's like there's really nothing to base it off of. You know what I mean?
Right. And what's interesting to me is, okay, she was a Richard character initially. That was her first appearance.
Right. Yes.
And
Yeah.
then
The
she
Valentine
bumps,
show she's performed by Richard. Yeah.
yeah. And then she bumps over to the Muppet Show, and suddenly she's more of a Frank character. And that might just be because he's doubling with George and
Right.
he's
Because at the
doing.
dance he's performing both at the same time.
But then we got that situation with the talk spot where there's a whole litany of Frank characters. So suddenly Frank is bumped over to Sam. Richard is not doing Mildred. Richard is doing Piggy, and then
Hmm.
Dave is doing Mildred.
Right.
That blew my mind as a kid. I'm like, wait, who's doing this voice? This isn't
I
what I'm used to.
I rewatched that one just before we started recording, and I was like, "How is Richard doing both of these voices?" Like, it didn't hit me. I guess I'm not a very
Um,
good voice chaser, but like, it's just like I couldn't. It didn't even occur to me that there was another person who would have picked up this puppet. Well, of course, and
yeah.
I wonder if that's a part of the character of just like Mildred could be played
Mm.
by anyone. Like there is no, it's a one character where there's no continuity with performer, and maybe keep it that way.
I mean, that would make for a really funny running gag,
Yeah,
right? On tonight's Muppet appearance, Mildred Huxtetter will be played by, and just every week something new. Hey,
yeah,
let's pitch it.
yeah. I like that idea. One of her, so she didn't get many spotlights on the Muppet Show. And we talked about the talk spots or the panel discussions that she did at the dance. Obviously, I think most people think of her as being George's dance partner at the dance. But
Right,
there's one more. It's the Charles Aznavour episode, and she's dancing with him. It's the song's called "Old Fashioned Way," and
right.
she doesn't speak. I'm pretty sure she's performed by Frank in this one. It
I
looks like
was
Frank's. Yeah.
I was gonna say I watched it back and I'm like that it has all the signature Frank moves, all the
Yep.
little things that he does. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't really explain it on a podcast, but it
it's
looks
just
like
it's
Frank's
just Frank. It's
hands.
just Frank.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, what a weird thing. Like, there's really not much of a joke to it. They're just dancing.
In fact, it's quite serious. At one
Yeah.
point, at one point, Charles Aznavour is like flirting with one of the creepy humanoid Muppet dancers, and Mildred gets upset. It doesn't. I think she pulls out a little handkerchief
She
and is like
does.
dabbing. Yeah, yeah.
But like right before that, she walks off stage and we don't know why because she's not speaking, she's not singing. And Charles Aznavour
Right.
just singing. So I don't really know what the story was that they were trying to tell.
Yeah, it's a little unclear.
Hmm.
I do, however, appreciate her alternate costume with the enormous sleeves made so as to hide half of a human being underneath.
She looks humongous.
She looks so big. Um, yeah, and then she's got that trademark, like one dummy hand that celebrity has to hold on to and make look like it's, doing something. I love
Right.
that.
Again, like look, the first season of the Muppet Show, and it's like you can see the seams, like you can see like how the puppetry works in like a really interesting way.
And it's loaded with what I call unintentional puppeteer cameos, where you're just catching heads, faces, eyes, you
Yeah,
you name it, which I love.
I do
And the
love that
other thing I
stuff.
love in the first season too is Muppets on Sticks, where it's like we need a crowd scene. We don't have enough people. Just put it on a stick. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
It'll do the
Prop them up.
trick.
Nobody's looking
Yeah.
back there. Nobody's gonna watch this on home video decades later and
No.
over and over again.
Right.
Be able to pause
Exactly.
it, take screenshots, put it on Muppet Wiki.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah, right. So we're talking a little bit about her job. It is weird because she is such an overeducated character, and we don't see that on the Muppet with the Muppet Troupe very often because like everyone's kind of dumb except for Kermit in
Mhm.
some way. Even the smart ones are kind of dumb. Like Sam gets things wrong all the time.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that would have worked. Like she just knows everything, and yet somehow she's funny. I would trust the writers to figure that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting when you say that too, because like, yeah, I'm thinking back to everything she's done. She never really lorded her knowledge over anybody. They
Right.
did put her in the talk spots quite a bit.
Yeah, there's
But
there's only the two I believe that she
okay.
did the those panels, and one of them the one with Candace Bergen, she's just making fat jokes about Miss Piggy the whole
Oh,
time, so she's not really showing off anything about her
yeah,
background.
yeah.
For me, I always kind of imagine her being kind of like standards and practices. So like Sam is the
Mm,
censor,
hmm.
but she's the one who's saying like what's more appropriate, or a little more old fashioned in that way. And I don't know why I picked up on that because it's also almost identical to what Sam's job was in the Muppet Show.
Right.
Yeah.
I can also see her being on set. There's always a script consultant who, like, after you do a take, will run over with the script and be like, "You said the word and. It was supposed to be but," and they
Oh,
correct you. I
she's an
could see her doing,
actually.
yeah, I could see her doing that kind of thing, like overseeing the show and then correcting all the little things
Yeah.
that don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, I have to point out, because I'm sure someone's thinking about it, she's prominent in the intro theme song to Muppets Tonight. She gets a close up.
Yeah,
She's doing Clifford's makeup. So
right.
she's the hair and makeup lady sometimes, I guess.
And that is when she lost her original glasses between whenever we saw her last. I'm assuming she got a refurbishment for Muppets Tonight. And before she had those really delicate little cat eye, little thin glasses.
Yeah.
And she reappeared and suddenly they were new. And that's what she's had ever since.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. You're right. Those are different glasses.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe next time she'll get LASIK and then
I
she'll have no
good for
glasses at all.
her. I would chip in. I would do a GoFundMe for that. Absolutely.
Well, I hope we get to see Mildred again one of these days because, like,
No,
if only for the character design and for more female characters on the Muppet Troupe.
yeah, it's interesting these days. Like you don't have the opportunity to see that many of the on Fraggle. We always call them gaggle Fraggles, but they're just the random backgrounds. In the Muppets, you just don't get to see that much anymore, which is a bummer. That's what I loved about it was the unexpected and who are you going to see in the background. And maybe you'll get an opening number with an obscure character that nobody knows. That's fun.
Right. And then people go, "Who is that?" "Oh, that's Mildred Huxtetter." Well, let's
That's
find out more about Mildred Huxtetter. And then they find this podcast episode.
right, and they play it back over and over again. Yeah,
That's right. That's
yeah.
what we're here for. Yes. Well, Andy, thank you so much for being here. I feel like I learned so much about Mildred talking to you. And thank you for sharing your love of Mildred with us.
Oh, likewise. You know what? I will drop anything to discuss Mildred Huxtetter. So anytime in the future, and I'm sure she's going to come up a lot, you let me know, and I'll be there.
Wait, I'm sorry. You're actually breaking up a little
Oh
bit,
no.
Andy.
Okay. Well, it was
Oh,
nice talking to you.
wait.
Oh,
Don't.
oh,
Well,
oh.
wait. There's something wrong with this pod. I'll edit all this out. But hang on, something's.
Hello? Hello?
What?
Hi?
Yeah.
Hi?
Who is this? Andy?
No, this is Frogfan76.
Frogvan76, the bestest Muppet fan on the internet.
Who am I talking to?
This is Joe from Tough Pigs.
Joe. Oh, Joe, Hennessy.
Yeah, that's close enough. Yes. Wow. Where have you been, my friend?
Well, my dad took my phone away for like 8 years, and I wanted to come back to the internet, but my passwords are all wrong, and I don't know what to do, Joe. Henderson.
Well, I don't know how to help you with your password.
I heard you were talking about Mildred Huxtetter, and I wasn't invited. All right?
Well, I'm so sorry. I didn't know how to get in touch with you, but I'm so glad you hacked into this podcast. I didn't know you could hack into a podcast.
Here I am, and we're going to play a little Mildred game show together. All right?
Okay.
So I'm going to say one line of Mildred's, and then you are going to say the next line. If you get it right, you'll hear this. All right? And
Okay.
if you hear nothing, you did a bad job.
Okay. This is so unexpected.
Question number 1. You're such a smooth dancer. Ever since we've started, I feel like my feet have never touched the floor. What's the next line?
Oh no, I wish I had prepared for this. It's something about that's because you've been stepping on mine, right?
You're a very good fan, Joseph.
Oh, thank goodness.
Question number 2. Why is it that everything we discuss you reduce to the level of the gutter? And the next line is?
I don't know. I don't remember this one. What's the next line?
Oh, Joseph.
I know I'm a terrible Muppet fan.
It's I just want to make you feel more comfortable. All right, that part of the game show's over.
Great.
Now we'll move on to part 2, and there are 12 more parts.
Oh no, we only have so much time on this. But yes, go ahead. I'll spend all the time we need with you, Frog Fan
Part
76.
2 of 12 is Guess That Muppet Tune. So I have my recorder, and I'm going to play the tune, all right? And
All right.
you're going to guess it. And if you hear this, it means good job. If you hear nothing, it means bad job.
Okay, great.
Here we go. Here's the first song.
Well, unfortunately, I think Zoom doesn't pick up high notes, so I can't hear anything if you're playing.
What are you telling me, Joseph? You can't hear my recorder?
I can't hear anything.
Well, then I'll just have to hum it for you.
Yeah, hum it for me, please. Thank you.
It's going to be lost, and then you tell me what the song is. Can
Okay.
you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. La 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 la.
It was beautiful, whatever it was. Was it Love is a Simple Thing?
Incorrect. It was I've Got Love.
I've Got Love.
Sweet love. Sweeter than a flower growing by the hour.
Wow. She had such a way with words, that Mildred.
Dad's in the room.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be on the internet.
I'll be really quiet. I'll be quiet.
It's against doctor's orders. No, I have to go. I'll play one more recorder song, even though you can't hear it. Did you hear that?
Not really.
Okay, I got it. We go. Dad, do not put Connie Stevens on the TV. Don't do it. She ruined the Muppet Show. Don't. I said no. I gotta go.
Well, that was completely unexpected and unhinged. Thanks to Andy Hayward and FrogFan76 for chatting about Mildred Huxtetter with me. If Mildred had spoken a single word in the past 45 years, I'm sure she'd be singing their praises too.
70 Years, 70 Muppets is a Muppet Fan podcast presented by ToughPigs.com. Hosted by a whole myriad of people and edited by them as well. Produced by Jared Fairclough. The Muppets 70 logo used with permission by the Muppet Studio with thanks to Danny Iglesias, Frank Reif Snyder and Lee Slaughter. Don't forget to follow ToughPigs.com on all social media platforms. You can support us by heading to patreon.com/toughpigs or buying a t-shirt at tpublic.com/toughpigs.